Hey there, Luis and Vidat. We're going to do a quick update here on the work that you've been creating. So we'll start here with Luis. We've got your candlelit scene. I think everything's looking great. I think you're really nailing this, and everything's kind of falling into place. There's just two last little teeny tiny things that I would make adjustments before calling this one done. And then I'll let other people make their critiques as well in case there's anything that I'm missing or anything that you all can see that could really plus this. Actually, three things. Okay, sorry. So the first one is that I was looking at this guy, at this piece of paper that's on the table here, and I really think that we could use just a touch of contact shadow down beneath it, just so we can really feel it solidifying against the table. Because like over here on this side, it just feels like it might actually penetrate the table. So just maybe it's lifting up the geometry a little bit, and maybe it's just faking a little bit of shadow in there as well. And the other thing, and I mentioned this in the comments, was just around this candle. It feels like there's a little bit of darkness. It would be cool if we got a little bit of warmth on the edges there, so there's like a little bit of a glowy warmth. That would be a nice little comp addition. And then finally, the very, very last thing I would consider doing is adding a reflection pass onto this window and getting a little bit more of a reflection of maybe like the you could even just put like a reflection of this image in it, so we can feel like there's more of the room going on there, so that this feels a little bit more like glass and a little bit less like an open window, unless it's open, in which case I think you're in good shape there. So those are just the last two little things that I would add there. I'll show you again just the before and after, just so you can see where we're going from there. Okay, cool. So go and close this. And all right, so for that we've got your the baby scene, and we've got them running through. We talked about the volumetric light. You brought that back up again, and I thought Louise actually did a really good job in his breakdown and showing this example of the type of night volumetric. So the one thing about it is it's not really adding brightness to it in the way that yours is. It's adding color, and most importantly, it's adding depth. And not so much depth isn't the right word. What I would say it's doing is it's desaturating and lessening the contrast of some of these areas. So that's something that we could definitely use. So it's creating more of a blue tint and desaturating these areas. So I really think that we could do that in your scene as well in the volumetric. So I went ahead and added just, again, a very generic compy solution, so we can just kind of play with the look a little bit. So now this helps the baby move forward. We can really use that volumetric in that way. So it's not a brightness or a darkness thing. It's more of a desaturating and lessening contrast to create the contrasty baby moving forward. I also think that these lines in the doorway are still a little bit too crisp. So I think we can soften those up a little bit. Oh, and I forgot, and I wanted to let you know that one of the other really cool things about that reference is the particles that are floating in it. That's very, very important to get a detail like that. So I would just add little particles in there, and then blur out the door just a little bit more, and then get some more light here in the foreground, and then lighten up the baby a little bit to really fall into this. And I think that's where we can go using your volumetric, using some of this stuff. Because again, I really want to see this moonlight transition into some interior light that's hitting the ground, because as of right now, again, just warm light hitting the baby and really not hitting the ground at all. So I would just up that just a little bit, and then try and get some more this might be ambient occlusion that you need to run on this door here. We just need a little bit more dark value in there. The darkest point in this door feels very lifted and gray, maybe over here too, maybe a little bit ambient occlusion in these edges as well. But other than that, I feel like we're looking good. If you all have any questions, just let me know, and keep going, keep lighting, and can't wait to see what you post next.